Brooke Waits is from Dallas, Texas. She was previously an employee for Cellular Sales of Texas, and she's going to share her experience with us this morning. Brooke Waits has come a long way to tell the story she's going to tell today. She's typical of a lot of women in this country and men who've had to deal with the pain of discrimination and risen above it to be strong. We're very fortunate she's with us today. Ms. Waits, welcome.
Thank you. I want to begin today by thanking you, Chairman Andrews, for the opportunity to come and testify about my personal experience with the kind of discrimination that shockingly still affects people across the country. Like so many other gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender victims of the workplace discrimination, I didn't lose my job because I was lazy, incompetent, or unprofessional. Quite the contrary. I worked hard and did my job very well. However, that was all discarded when my boss discovered that I'm a lesbian. In a single afternoon, I went from being a highly praised employee to out of a job. The experience has been very, very difficult for me, as it's altered not only how I feel about the world, but also how I feel in the world. Work was more than work to me. It was part of what I know about myself, how I feel about myself. I never went to work simply to get through another day. I went to work to be a rock star. How I feel today is vastly different. Up until a month ago, I had not been employed full-time since the summer of 2006. For a few hours a week, I did some bookkeeping and taxes for my father's small business. Working part-time and earning less than half the money I had still felt better than an atmosphere of contempt. Cellular Sales of Texas hired me in March of 2006 for the position of Inventory Control Manager. I was responsible for all the stores throughout Texas and Oklahoma. My job was a position of trust, keeping track of valuable and frequently stolen electronics. I was excited to take on a position of such importance and responsibility. I spent hours even before the workday started implementing a control system to help the store manage its inventory. I was frequently praised by my supervisor for its dedication and quickly received a praise for my job performance. But there was a negative side to my workplace, a side that kept me, an otherwise open lesbian, from being honest about myself with my coworkers. It wasn't long before I began to hear male coworkers making jokes and other derogatory comments about gay, lesbian, and bisexual transgender people. A fellow female employee told me that my walk was not too feminine. I did not want to create any problem in this new job. In conversation, I tried to stay engaged while carefully avoiding all pronouns, in particular she. I spoke very generally, never using my girlfriend's name. Instead, I used things like my better half. But that was not enough to keep my sexual orientation from costing me my job. Ironically, my cell phone proved to be the problem. Like many people, I had a photo of me and my girlfriend sharing a midnight kiss at New Year's Eve party, saved as my cell phone screensaver. One day in May 2006, my manager came into the back office to ask me a question. I was across the room sending a fax, but my manager stopped at my desk, noticing my cell phone sitting on it. Out of what I can only imagine was innocent curiosity, she opened my phone and exclaimed, "Oh my." I turned and looked at her. She didn't even make eye contact before snapping her phone and rushing back into her office. She avoided me for the rest of the day, and I overheard her telling a coworker that she knew there was something off about me. I dreaded coming to work the next day, and to my dismay, my manager was already there 3 hours earlier than she usually arrived. As I passed her office door, she called me in, stood up, and without the slightest hesitation told me that she was going to have to let me go. When I asked why, she told me that they needed someone more dependable in the position. I was shocked. I had arrived at work an hour early for weeks, not only implementing a brand new inventory system, but programming it and drafting instructions on how to use the software. When I defended myself, she simply repeated, "I'm sorry, we just need to let you go." I realize a law still won't change the way some people like my employer feel about other people and certain issues. However, there is a sense of security knowing that the other hardworking Americans like me are protected under a law from situations like this from happening again. I do not believe that anyone should be exposed to a workplace where they have to worry about being who they are and costing them their livelihood. Congress has the power to help stop the devastating effects of discrimination against gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. Please pass the Employment Non-Discrimination Act.